Now, we've already established that content modeling is perhaps one of the most important concepts when getting started with Headless CMS. Think of your content models kind of like the blueprint or the structure of your entire project. Taking a quick look at our own website, each one of our landing pages, our case studies, our blog posts and docs, they're all individual content models that have come together to form the entirety of our website. Now, each model itself describes how different types of content would come together to create an entity like a blog post or a landing page. If we were to take the example of a very simple landing page, this model would be comprised of several fields or individual data types. You'd most likely use something like the text field for titles, for descriptions, for the little text blocks that form your landing page. You'd also combine this with something like the media field for adding images and videos. And in the case of things like blog posts or press releases, you'd also add a date and time field to show when this page was published. Now, it can get quite overwhelming to think of how so many field types would come together to create an entity, but a very simple way to imagine how fields and models kind of interact with one another is to think of them as a big pile of Lego bricks. These can be combined and used in many different and independent ways depending on what you're trying to build. So, in the words of Ed Sheeran, let's pick up the pieces and build a Lego house, or something like a changelog. Here we've taken blocks or bricks, like the text field for what the version name is for the content itself. We've also taken a brick of the date and time field to show what the time of release is. In the end, this would look something like this, where the text field shows you what the title is and what the content of this release is, combined with the date and time field to show when this was released. Now let's take down the Lego house and maybe build a Lego castle or a blog post, which is slightly more complicated. In this case, we're also using the text fields for things like the title and the content itself, but we're also introducing new bricks like the single link, which is to link a blog post to another model, which in this case is the author, and also to the tag, which is something very common when it comes to blog posts. In the end, this is what a blog post would look like, utilizing the text fields and the link field to show that this was created by Alessio, my colleague. If you're interested in kind of understanding a lot more on the concepts of content modeling and how it works with a Headless CMS, I'd recommend checking out the Academy article that we've discussed before. And if you're looking for a very technical deep dive into how content modeling in DatoCMS works and how the different fields come together to create the schema of your project, I'd recommend starting with the docs.